So what if you could build an entire, complex software platform in just 24 hours? Today we're diving into something called vibe coding. It's this fascinating new partnership where human intuition directs the raw, incredible power of artificial intelligence. And let me be clear, this isn't about replacing people, it's all about collaboration.
Let's just start with that number because it really sets the stage. 24. That's how many hours it took a single developer working with an AI to build a complete production-ready platform, right from scratch. We're not talking about a big team or months of planning, just one person and their AI partner.
And that number should immediately make you ask, wait, how is that even possible? I mean, a job that would normally take a whole team weeks, maybe even months, got done by one person in a single day. The answer isn't just about working faster, it's about working in a totally new way. And that new way is called vibe coding. See, it's not about meticulously typing out every single line of code, every semicolon. It's more of a fluid conversation. The developer acts like the architect, describing the goal, the vibe of what they want. And the AI acts as this incredibly fast builder, writing all the code. Then the developer's job is to test it and keep refining that conversation. This quote just nails the mindset shift here. It's a conversation, not a text editor. I mean, really think about that for a second. We're moving away from this idea of a developer working alone, just typing into a screen, and moving toward a dynamic dialogue with a partner that can instantly turn ideas into real working code. So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, it's a really simple but powerful loop. First, you describe a goal, something like, hey, I need to fetch this data and show it over here. Second, the AI just writes the code to do it. Third, and this part is absolutely crucial, you have to test it with real data in a real environment. And fourth, you go back to the AI and say, okay, that worked, now let's tweak this. And you just keep iterating. It's this super rapid creative cycle. Now, that loop sounds great in theory, right? But its real power comes when you test it out in the real world. So let's look at the perfect example, building a voice input feature for truck drivers. This is where you can really see this human-AI partnership come to life. Okay, so the developer tells the AI, build me a voice input feature. The AI uses a pretty standard tool, the browser's built-in speech recognition. The developer gives it a try right there in the office, and it works perfectly. Project's done, right? Time to ship it. Well, not so fast. This is the moment where the human element becomes absolutely essential. The developer stops and thinks, not about the code, but about the user. Who is this for? A truck driver. And where do they work? In a noisy truck cab? Or on a loud loading dock? That test in the quiet office, it was completely misleading. And that one single human insight changed everything. The AI's first solution, while technically correct, would have been totally useless in the real world. It would have failed miserably. But with the developer's guidance, the AI was able to build a much more robust solution, one that could handle all that background noise and work on any device. So, here's the key takeaway from that story. The AI implemented the fix in just a few minutes, a task that might have taken a person hours of research and coding. But, and this is the important part, the AI would have never known to make that change in the first place. That critical insight about the real world, about truck cab acoustics, that came from the human. You see, this truck cab story isn't just a one-off. It actually reveals this really powerful and repeatable pattern for a new way to build things, the partnership model. And this here breaks down that division of labor perfectly. The developer brings the domain knowledge, like knowing truck cabs are noisy, and the architectural judgment, understanding the big picture things like legal liability. The AI brings the lightning-fast implementation speed and this almost encyclopedic knowledge of coding. They're really two different kinds of intelligence, working together. And that's the key, right there. This isn't about the AI being better than the human or the human being better than the AI. The developer just doesn't have the time to write all that code so quickly. And the AI doesn't have the real-world experience to know what problems actually need to be solved. They need each other. So what's the ultimate result of this new partnership? Where does this all lead? Well, the answer is pretty exciting, and it's probably not what you might be afraid of. Let's go back to that 24-hour claim for a second. This wasn't some flimsy prototype. In a single day, this developer built a full-stack platform with automated tests, a deployment pipeline, custom security, GPU optimization. I mean, look at this list. This is a massive amount of complex production-grade work. And this right here gets to the heart of it all. It addresses that big fear that's always looming around AI. When you look at this process, it is crystal clear that the goal is not to make the developer obsolete. In fact, the developer's judgment and real-world experience become more valuable than ever. The true goal here is amplification. It's about taking the skill, the creativity, and the wisdom of one person and multiplying their output by 10, maybe more. It's about turning a single developer into a hyper-productive product team. It's a force multiplier for human potential. So, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. If you had a partner who could instantly bring your best ideas to life, who could handle all the tedious implementation and let you focus on the big picture, what could you build? What problems could you solve?